Yo, good evening, good people. Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no damn chaser. And you've got the super team of sports talk here with y'all. On one half of it, Diego Barishnikov, the Black Dominican Russian, here checking in with my main man, my partner in crime. I like to call him the 6 foot and under post-up champ. Tell him who you are.
What's good people? It's your boy Uncle Hate, the other A and AA Sports, broadcasting live here on a Tuesday. What's good with y'all?
Oh, man, everything is good. I can't complain. I cannot complain, people. We appreciate y'all tuning in. I just realized this is like episode, I think, 200. We appreciate y'all, as always, rocking with us on the YouTube channel, Spreaker, and iTunes. All those platforms continue to show us the support. Leave your comments. Pass it on to your friends and your neighbors and your coworkers and whoever else. We're going to recap what Week 10 is in the book. Week 10 is in the books. We have no more undefeated teams. So, I'm going to have to sign off about that a little bit later on. And, of course, we're going to go over any and everything else that is NFL, right?
Yeah, we're going to get to it. You know how we do. Ready to go to work?
Let's get it. Last Thursday's game was the Chargers and the Raiders. Now, this game started off not too good for the Chargers. I think they got themselves in, a 14-0 hole.
Phillip Rivers had the Oakland Raiders defense in fantasy.
Had to.
Because he was trying his best to lose the game in the first half. He was trying.
Yeah, but, those Chargers kind of got their shit together. And actually, they really should have won this game.
They should have.
But because to me, the Oakland Raiders.
By 11 o'clock, because I took them. So I was feeling good of starting our week off.
Right.
They pissed it away. Melvin Gordon looked good, though, dog. That was the best game I seen him this year.
Yeah, he did start to look a little bit better. Oakland, to me, if I remember correctly, again, it's sometime on this Tuesday when we record, these Thursday games seem like more than a week away. Behind. But if I remember correctly, I don't remember really 2 good drives that the Raiders had, but they was both at critical times. The 2 drives I'm talking about, one was at the end of the half, where they got the touchdown, and, of course, the go-ahead one at the end of the game. But everything in between, it wasn't a whole lot going on.
Tyrell Williams ain't a number 1, dog. He's not.
Hey,
I'm going to say this to the homie in Cincinnati with the swollen ankle. AJ Green, go to Vegas, dog. Go to Vegas. They need you. Get out of Cincinnati. They need a 1. Tyrell's a good number 2, but they don't have a 1 there. And Josh Jacobs, that's a bad motherfucker right there. I like him. And you remember teams criticizing them for taking him late in the first. Like, why you taking running back that early? Look at how he ran through that line late and won that game for them. Because the Raiders are right there for the playoffs.
They're 5-4 right now, and then I think this week they got the Bengals.
Well, I got that on the list. We can jump on that now.
And then the Jets.
Are they for real? Let's talk about these next few they got. Yeah, where is that at on this list? I've been drinking. Okay, here we go. You got Cincinnati. That should be a win.
Right.
Next game, they got the Jets. That should be a win. Now the Chiefs, not in Kansas City. I can't see that being a win.
Well, see that's the thing. They get those 2 wins, that'll get them to 7-4. Let's say the Chiefs, win their next couple of games. That game could be for for first place in the division. They both gonna be sitting at 7 or 8-4. So
they're only a game behind, right?
Yeah, the Chiefs are 6-4 and Oakland's 5-4.
Yeah, they're a game out. Yeah.
So.
After that,
that could be big.
Chargers, Broncos. What you think will get you a wild card in the playoffs? In the AFC, 10 or 9?
All right. So you got to think about who's challenging for the wild card. So I know Buffalo was a team right there. You got Oakland, you got Pittsburgh, and the Colts. I want to say them
That's
probably
it.
about the four
That's
teams, right?
Yeah.
They all got about 5 or 6
Who
wins
was two?
tops.
Yeah.
I got Pittsburgh. Okay.
Okay.
10. I think 10 should do it. I think 10 and 6 probably bare minimum.
They got the best quarterback out of all four of them. Well, it's kind of suspect in regards to Jacoby and Derek Carr, but he's definitely better than Josh Allen and Mason Rudolph. That's a help right there. So they look for real right now. They won that game.
They're gonna be right
Should've
there.
lost.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna be right there. So we'll see if they come through or if they Raider.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next up, I don't have really anything on this game. Now, I know. All right. So Detroit played the Lions according to this sheet I got, people. Detroit won 20-13 over the Lions. Now, who did the Lions actually play?
Hey, you gonna put me on blast, cuz that was rain.
Hey, cuz. Hey, man, I could have helped you out if I could have remembered who the hell they played, but
they played Chicago and Trubisky balled.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I didn't find out till about half.
Shout out to Detroit's medical staff for deciding that Matt Stafford shouldn't have played with a broken back. Shout out to y'all. It took y'all till Sunday morning to decide that shit.
Oh, man. Good. I didn't even realize he wasn't playing until like halftime.
Because he had a broken back. And they was like, you know what? It's like 11 o'clock Sunday. He don't need to play. The fuck?
Yeah, we'll think he gonna suit up. We'll think he gonna suit up. All right, so Mitchell threw a couple touchdowns in this game, right?
I don't have shit on that game.
All right, I think I saw the box score. So I think he had a little bit better of a game, probably his best game of the season, and it was still probably very mediocre. But
y'all go for that fool's gold y'all want to. Y'all think he right because he threw three touchdowns in that game. Fall for it.
Hey, we'll see who their next opponent is. We'll get into that Thursday.
Right.
Next up, Baltimore beat down the Bengals 49-13. Lamar Jackson, a Michael Vick-esque run
I was just about to say that
in this game.
He looked like prime Vick, but faster.
Yeah.
You think in Vick's prime, and they ran a foot race, he seemed like he might have been faster than Vick, though.
I ain't no telling. I don't know they 40 numbers coming out of the combine or nothing off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But Lamar is lankier and taller, so he's covering probably more ground with them long strides.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mike Vick was a blur boy.
He was fast.
Vick was fast as fuck back in the day. So that would be a good race to see if we could have both saw them in their prime. But I don't have anything on this game.
I don't have anything in that game.
Baltimore did what they was expected to do.
Yes,
all right. Another game that we had a head-to-head matchup on, Buffalo and the Browns. Now I took Josh Allen and the Bills. I just have stopped putting any faith on Cleveland doing anything right this season. But they pulled this game out 19-16. Anything that you saw stand out in this game?
Odell can't get the ball. We know that. But I was concerned about Josh Allen going on the road. Cleveland, it had to be some pride at some point. I don't know what's going to happen going forward, but I felt like they were going to get that game on Sunday. So, I mean, it wasn't like Baker was great, but they got pieces on defense. They got pieces. So,
right.
And if you think about it, as of right now, today, 5-4 is a playoff spot. Well, they don't win 3 or 4 games right now?
I'm sorry, you said now what? 5-4 is a playoff spot. They 3-6.
Oh well, yeah, never mind. A lot of shit would have to go wrong for them to get in the playoffs.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, for them, they got to win out.
They got to clean out. They need some help.
Exactly. If we saying that you need to be 10-6 to get into a wild card, and they 3-6 now, so they got to run the table, and like you said, probably get some help. And I don't see that
I
happening.
don't see that much help.
I thought about one of my crazy ass intuitions that I think we said during the AFC North show. It was a bold prediction. That's what it was. We was doing a segment on bold predictions.
Yeah.
And I told you that Odell wasn't going to lead the team in receiving yards. Now, at the time,
right.
I thought I was just bullshitting, throwing something out there. But here we are, going into week 11, and I think he's like 5 or 6 yards behind Jarvis Landry for the team lead. And they got about the same amount of catches. They right neck and neck. It's not what you would expect.
Right. You really would, because Odell's only had 2 good games this year, give or take.
Yeah, I think they both like right under 500 yards, somewhere between 450 and 500 receiving yards for the season, if I remember what I saw correctly. But yeah.
Last thing on that before we move forward, both of them under 500 receiving yards. You paying both of them over $16 million. That's not good math, people, at all. At all.
All right. So we'll see how that goes for the Browns coming up. Now, then let's see. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes back. They lost to the Titans 35-32. Something about a blocked field goal. Was that the end of this game?
That was the end of the game. He had over 400 yards passing, but I want to say you said it last week on the show. I could be wrong. You was like, could this be a trap? Did you say that shit last week? I think you did.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Tennessee seems like a trap place all the time. You know, you go in there thinking you're gonna beat them because you don't know what you're gonna get a quarterback. But that's a bad loss to me for the Chiefs. I mean, they're still 6-4 in the lead of the division, but that's a bad loss. Now I put it on here. You know, Patrick Mahomes came back, had over 400 yards, but they still lost. They're only giving up 24 points a game. I kind of feel like, and that's only 22nd if I'm not mistaken, they should be all right if they're only giving up 24. Because he should be able to get you 28-30. He should be able to.
Right. So they got to get healthy for one. They had some receivers in and out of the lineup along with Mahomes himself. But to me, it always comes down to the same thing with the Chiefs or Andy Reid team. Is he going to run the fucking ball enough when it needs to be done, to help sustain drives when it really count? They're going to make the playoffs. I'm pretty sure. You know, if they don't, that'll definitely be something to talk about in the off season. Yeah. Especially after everybody crowned Mahomes after this 1 year he had. So
they crowned him. You can't give up 150 yards and rushing every game, though. That's absurd.
Yeah, that can't work. But like you said, that was a pretty big game because you start talking about home field advantage in the AFC. You know, the New England sitting at 8-1 and Baltimore at 7-2. Here you are with 4 losses. Important. Yeah, very, very much so. So we're going to see how the Chiefs continue to play, but like you said, bad loss. We'll see how they rebound next week. They got the Chargers in Mexico City
on Monday.
On Monday. I saw something interesting. Kind of going back to the Chargers for a second, but Anthony Lynn, he got them out in somewhere in Colorado somewhere. Practicing where the altitude is similar. It's similar to what they're going to be facing down there in Mexico City. So we'll see how.
Last year, you remember how fucked up that field was last year? Didn't they move the game from Mexico City to LA when they were going to play the Chiefs?
Yeah, this is back to the scene of that game. So we'll see how the field conditions are improved. Yeah. But something to keep an eye on, especially with Mahomes just coming off that knee, right?
Right. You remember going back even further, Robert Griffin III played in the playoff game in that fucked up field in Washington. That tarp and shit was everywhere. Yeah.
Yo, that would be so fucked up because NFL would lose some money, boy. One of their biggest young stars at quarterback couldn't play in the playoffs.
Whew.
Boy. All right, let's keep this thing moving, man. The Battle of NYC. The Jets come out on top, 34-27. Saquon Barkley held to a career-low day in yards, I saw. I didn't see really any of these games, so we winging it. But
they claim he's healthy. They claim he's healthy. But 31 yards, for a whole game.
He is healthy as McVay keeps saying Todd Gurley is.
Right.
Maybe it was a part of the rotation.
Maybe it was
the rotation. Yeah.
I'm gonna try that shit at my real job. Load management.
You gonna try load management?
I'm gonna try load management.
What's gonna be the proposal? What are you gonna propose?
I need to take Friday off. It's been a rough week. Load management. I'll be fresh on Monday.
I think they might go for something like, you walk in like, you know what? I think I'll be more efficient if I did 10 hours, 4 days a week with 3 days rather than 8 for 5. I think I'll be more.
Shout out to that boy Kawhi. He is leading the way for us. Let's keep it moving. Yeah, I don't have shit. The bad part about this Giants thing is I think all they did was switch draft positions. I think that's all they did. So.
Oh, man. Next up, Tampa Bay. Jabu and them eating dubs. Did they get a dub last week too?
I think they did.
It
started off wrong though. I think he had a pick early.
Did he? Okay. Well, they beat Arizona 30-27. I tell you, man, Arizona, man, they getting beat most weeks, but they like in every game.
They in every game. Little man balling for him. David Johnson started, but got benched.
He got benched.
If they could figure out a defense, because essentially you're looking at Oklahoma's offense. Essentially, you see what Oklahoma's defense is like in college. Kind of gonna be similar when they scoring fast and they got these dudes on the field all the time. But they got to try to put some points up. I mean, Arizona was probably one of the only teams outside of last night that scored on y'all pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's done that. So, even if they don't win a whole lot of games, what are they right now? Arizona is 3-6-1.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were going to win this many games. So
maybe for the whole season, but like you said, not through, 9 games?
Right.
I mean, I know they've played 10 games, but they didn't win this week, so that third win came before this one. So, yeah, pretty good job, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Or, we can go, or we can nitpick and say the teams that they beat are probably just as bad as them, right? Just as bad as them, rather. All right.
Before we jump off that real quick, they cut Vernon Hargraves today.
Yes, saw that earlier.
I mean, he's a first-round draft pick in 2016. It's 2019. He wasn't the only person getting beat in that damn secondary. He really wasn't. But to cut a first rounder that fast, what you feel about that?
They was apparently they was sick of him. Apparently, some things, I guess, it was kind of a build up thing, and they was like, you know what?
Were they sick or were they sick and damn tired?
Apparently they was sick and damn tired because his ass was on cut and on waivers. We'll see if he passed through waivers. I guess tomorrow about sometime in the afternoon probably.
They ain't got no choice but to bring back the OG, Brent Grimes. They ain't got no choice.
I think Miko probably has killed and burned that bridge, and neither one of them I'll give a fuck. Yeah, Brent. Yeah, he's probably not coming back no more.
Let's keep it moving. My bad. I was on that.
No, it's all good, baby. Next up, Brian Flores. They told Brian Flores to tank. He said, okay, whatever, we going to see. Right. Miami 16, Colts 12.
I tweeted about this on Sunday. They might have them one.
As far as the coach?
Yeah, because they play hard for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the players know that they're supposed to be losing games right now. I don't think they know. But they play hard, man. That's what, 2 in a row?
Yeah. Well, what I think happened, you go back to early in the season, start of the season, back to even the training camps, how they was getting rid of all the good players and shipping people out and making it obvious that they was tanking, and let it be known that pretty much anybody can be had for whatever price. I think the players kind of came together like, kind of on some fuck management, fuck ownership shit. Yeah. We finna go out here and, and bond together and play. fuck what they trying to do about next year. We here now, you know. And I think it could have been a little bit of that. And then Flores too, like, hey, nah, y'all got me here. You ain't gonna sell me on this. We gonna rebuild it. We just gonna tank, and then my ass be the one fired after a year, and then somebody else rolling here, you know, and reap the benefits. Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and win and coach my ass off right now. So I'm glad to see him doing that.
Yeah, shout out to him because I think we both said at the time, like, I mean, I know you need to take the job, bro, but like this job might not be like the job. So shout out to him. I don't have much else on this game. The Colts were playing without Jacoby Brissett. That's a bad loss at home, though. That's a bad loss. Only put up 12 points.
Because they got Brian Hoyer playing backup.
Man, Brian Hoyer was boo-boo.
Because he is boo-boo. Because he is boo-boo. Remember he was our damn quarterback for a short time there, post-cap.
I'm gonna tell you some fuckery I did in some fantasy real quick. I was nervous about Josh Allen, so I picked up Brian Hoyer at home against Miami. Bro,
you did what?
Bro, man, that's when you overthinking the room. I was overthinking. I still won. It worked out well for me, but I was nervous. I held my own, but I was nervous. But yeah, Brian Hoyer, boo. Send him to the side. Jacoby, get healthy.
With no T.Y. Hilton? What are you thinking, dog?
Miami. I was like, okay, they've been trashed all year. But shit, who knew? Flores got these dudes playing. A brother with the last name Flores, and they win.
Hey, now if it would have been the Bengals, then you might have been on to something.
Yeah, that was a bad call on my part, but it worked out.
Hey, as long as it worked out, I bet you that's on waivers now, right? His ass is back on waivers now, though, right?
Oh yeah, he's gone Thursday morning, 1 a.m. He's out. So let's keep it moving, boy. You silly.
Oh man, your boys, the Carolina Panthers. Why do people try to make this game out in Green Bay to be like it was a fucking blizzard?
I mean, it was some flurries.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't a blizzard.
No, it was not at all. But it was a good game. 24-16, Green Bay wins. I text you over, after the game Sunday. Even though this was a loss, Kyle Allen getting better than me. He's doing some things that he wasn't doing earlier in the season. He's getting the ball downfield more, and he's getting it down there with confidence. So you can see the offense opening up a little bit.
He got to work on the turnovers, but at the end of the day, he played a good game. I mean, I'm on board at this point. I mean, I'm not talking about Cameron. He's gone. We did that last week, but they could have won that game. I'm not convinced in regards to what Ron was doing, play calling down the stretch, going for two in that pivotal moment. But people are sitting there focusing on Kyle Allen. Our defense ain't great. We get a lot of sacks, but our defense ain't great. Aaron Jones was running all over us. And that's not the first team to do that. But at 5-4, we're in a good spot. We pretty much control our own destiny. So we can move forward and try to get a playoff spot. But we talked on the side the other day, and I said something to you about I'm not sure that Ron's safe. Because I'm not. That's a new owner. And you was like, well, if they make the playoffs, he should be safe. I was like, I don't know. I think he got to get around. He has to get around. So I'm biased. So I'm gonna run the remaining schedule by you for my Panthers, and I want you to tell me what we go. And we're 5-4 now. We got the Falcons at home, at the Saints, Redskins, at the Falcons, Seattle, at the Colts, and the Saints.
Was that 7 games?
And we probably need 10. Easy.
Y'all got work to do. I mean, because if I count, I'm counting the Reds.
We're gonna beat the Falcons at home. We should beat them.
I'm saying a split with Atlanta, Washington, and the Colts. Those are games I think those if you want to say gimmies. Then the Colts game, that's in Indianapolis around Christmas time.
That's not a gimme.
That's not a gimme. What could work in your favor, depending on how things shake out, is out of the 2 New Orleans games, the first of the 2 is in New Orleans. The very last one, the last week of the season, is at home.
Yeah.
And depending on how things shake out at the top of the NFC, maybe New Orleans doesn't have anything to play for.
Right.
So, maybe you get their B team if you need that win. But I think you need at least 10, probably 11 wins in the NFC to get there. So that's going to be tight for y'all.
So you don't like the look of it?
As of right now, because who's the wild card? I know Seattle is a wild card.
We're tied at 7 with the Rams, and they have the tiebreaker over us. God, look at them notes. I got the Panthers and Carolina. Oh my God!
Green Bay's 8-2, Minnesota.
Philly's tied with us, so it's the Rams, Philly, and Carolina tied at 5-4 at 7.
Okay. And so the 2 spots, so right now, if it ended today, would be Minnesota and Seattle, right? The 2 wild cards.
Right.
Okay, and they are 8-2 and 7-3, respectively. Okay.
That might not change, though.
As I say, y'all gotta put in work, and y'all might need a little bit of help.
Yeah, so
might need a little bit of help. What I was gonna say, shit, I forgot just that quick. But no, go ahead, keep it moving.
All right, let's jump on these Rams. We gotta talk about them.
I mean, I didn't see this game except for maybe part of the fourth quarter, but Pittsburgh 17-12. Again, shout out to Mike Tomlin. Another W. If the playoffs started today, they would actually be in the playoffs. Who would have said that?
Who saw that? Ben got hurt week 2?
Yeah. So shout out to Mike Tomlin and the job he doing. But the Rams, man, 12 points. This shit is it's getting worse and worse, right?
Because they had that 12 in the first half.
Oh.
First half. Now I put up here some numbers. 2018, they put up 33 points a game, 421 yards, 282 passes, 139 rushing. Now going through 2019 right now, they're putting up 25 points a game, 375 total. Now the passing yards are pretty much still the same, but 96 rushing yards. And Todd Gurley's only touched the ball 119 times in 10 games. Well, say 9 because they had their bye. That don't seem like a lot of touches for him.
Oh, I mean, not because he's been on the pitch count since the season started. Now, from my understanding, he was running pretty good in this game, and then McVay stopped giving him the ball. I think I saw
Sunday about that, and I was like, I don't understand why teams. The game ain't over with. 2 touchdowns, you shouldn't stop running the ball in my eyes. 2 touchdowns, you shouldn't.
Depending on what point in the game it is.
But it was early in that game against Pittsburgh. They stopped running the ball.
Okay, I got you.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Cooper Kupp's out the game. They took him away, just like y'all did. They watched the tape of the 49ers game. Cooper Kupp didn't catch a pass in that game. Cooks was out. So pretty much you had Gerald Everett and you had Robert Woods. That's it.
Without the play action, hey, this offense is every other offense. It ain't that spectacular thing that we was used to, like the Chiefs came on the scene last year. It ain't that no more. And the good part of that is because there may be some regression with Jared Goff, but Todd Gurley not being the Todd Gurley that we was used to. So those are the 2 biggest factors to me. Sean McVay gonna have to figure out a way after this season's over, regardless of how this season ends, because unless they do some major 360 and turning things around, I don't think this season is going to end with them back with a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Can we throw that on a Super Bowl hangover? No.
And by the way they playing, I mean, they ain't sucking it up completely, but they don't look like they ready to go back.
Yeah.
So I would say so.
Goff has 11 touchdowns and 9 interceptions in 9 games. I really think the deals that have been handed out this year I kind of feel like they're going to set the table for teams to start looking at what we got to do and what we don't have to do. They handed him that bread, and that was under the table. Nobody saw that coming. That shit just dropped like boom, 110 million. We paid him. We gonna see, but Todd Gurley could be the issue because to go from 139 rushing to 96, that's big shit.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking a lot about the offense. I don't have the defensive numbers, but the defense, they just as much of a culprit as anything in this situation. Because we talking about them being down to 25 points a game. That's still pretty good pickers in the NFL most weeks. If you're scoring 25 points a game, you should be able to win some games. So the defense got to get some stops. I don't have
Ain't
some
no
of these
playmakers. I don't believe at this point. You got
in the secondary. They're missing them. Definitely.
Yeah, there are no playmakers. So they are where they are. Technically, they're locked in at 7 right now, so they could very well make the playoffs. But I don't feel too confident about change at the bottom of the NFC playoff picture. I don't.
Some of these teams got to play each other, so we still got to play the Packers, the Saints, the Rams, and Seattle again.
Yeah.
In addition to the Ravens and the Falcons, I think those are our remaining games. But we're gonna see the last half of the season. Now it's going to get cold. You know what I'm saying? Now war of attrition is going to have to kick in. Teams injuries are really starting to pile up for teams. We're going to see the second half of the season. We know every year something for some of these teams is not going to go the same as it did the first half.
I'm telling you now, you're not about to beat the Falcons. They won the Super Bowl this past Sunday.
Hey, man, a lot of teams won the Super Bowl this week.
How about that shit? All right, let's keep it moving. Minnesota beat Dallas 28-24. I watched pretty much this whole game. I watched a lot of these Sunday games, but Minnesota made it very clear. Zeke Elliott ain't going to beat us. He not. And Dak looked good. Dak looked real good in this game. The ball was coming out of his hands. I was impressed with Amari Cooper. I mean, I knew he's been good this whole time, but some of those catches he was making, those toe taps, he was balling. But they didn't get it done. I mean, we watch Dallas on these Monday and these Sunday night games all the time because they on TV all the goddamn time. But they didn't get it done. What did you feel about the play calling? Did you see? I'm about to ask you a stupid question. Did you see the end of the game? No.
No.
Okay. I don't understand.
I know it's the same thing every Sunday night. I know.
They went to Zeke 3 times in a row. Like, why? It wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
None of it. They tried to run him twice, didn't work. And actually, they tried to run him 3 times, didn't work. Then they tried to pass it to him on 4th down.
Was this on a goal-to-go situation?
Yeah, it was like to win the game. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was averaging like 2 yards a carry. Amari Cooper was getting open the whole time, so it felt like they took the ball out of Dak's hands and gave it to Zeke. I don't know because it switches week to week. You feel like, okay, Zeke is the star of this team. But Dakota's been balling. He's been balling. So I don't know.
Yeah. So we
calling late. I really.
I would say so. Kellen Moore, fella, should have been a little bit of variety. Okay. I mean, like I said, I didn't see it, so I can't comment on it. But it's something to keep an eye out on because usually you'll see where instances where they should have run the ball where they don't because they take it out, they put it in the quarterback's hands because they want this guy to get the credit pretty much, But you rarely see where, okay, this is a situation they should run, and then they got the quarterback passing.
I mean, they get down there to the goal.
That's the same thing, eh?
We about to throw this shit at Zeke. Zeke about to get all 4 plays. They were shutting Zeke down the entire game. That just put – at some point, you got to put it in Dakota's hands.
Did they ever do play action?
Nah, it was hand it to him. Here you go, Zeke. Go win the game. Minnesota's defense, they ain't some hoes. They're pretty solid. You know, that it didn't seem like the wave to me to do, but they did it. So, you know, you done handed Zeke $50 million, so you got to play him. But I don't. Can you recall a player's contract, the stock go up and down the way Dakota's has?
No, because I just think it's going to be what it's going to be because we know it's going to be at least 35. It's just a matter of where they want to get him to 40. 38. Yeah, that's what I think. So, you know, the market is going to dictate that. So, we know how that's going to rock. But we'll see. I mean, they're 5-4 right now, tied with Philly. We talked about it last week. You don't want Philly gaining ground on you in the division when they ain't even playing this week. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So now they tied. And right, down the stretch.
I like to go to you with it. I like to go to you with that shit. Who gonna win the NFCs?
I'm looking at the schedule. So the Cowboys got the Lions and the Patriots on the road next 2 weeks. Then the Bills at home. They go to Chicago. Then they've got the Rams, Philly, week 16, and then they finish up with the Redskins. Looking at Philly's schedule real quick. Philly is on a bye this week. Then they come out the bye. They got New England, Seattle, Dolphins, Giants, Redskins, Cowboys, Giants. By the looks of that, I like Philly. And it's probably going to come down to that week 16 matchup when they play each other in Philly. More, I'm saying more than likely.
All right, that's tough.
It is. I mean, for Philly, outside of New England this week, no, Philly not on the bye this week. It's on the bye last week. So I'm sorry. They play New England this week. Then they got Seattle. After that, Miami, the Giants, the Redskins, Cowboys, Redskins. I would say Philly.
You get fat on them 3 in the middle.
Hey, they might can get to 10 wins.
Well, they're at 5 now, so you figure them 3 and get them to 8. You figure the Giants, that's 9. Yeah, they just got to win one of them tough games to get to 10. Just one.
Yeah, they got 7 games left. Can they go 7-2? I'm sorry, 5-2 in those 7 games?
Well, we see 4 off top. So
I think they can get to 10-6. They get to 10-6, they'll win the division. Like I said, it's gonna come down to that game against Dallas in Philly, week 16.
Dallas got a hard road though. They got New England. I mean, depending on the Stafford plays, New England. They going to Buffalo's gonna be in Dallas. Yeah, we're gonna see. That's tough. They should have won Sunday. All right, let's talk about your boy.
Well, let's.
Man, I stayed up all night for that game. I tweeted that Roger Goodell hit that Buffalo Wild Wings button to have that kick go the other way. I was ready to go to bed.
Bruh, the kick, man. I don't even blame that dude, man. That dude was sitting on – this time last week, that dude was sitting on his couch minding his fucking business.
There was nobody else who had, like, experience this year. They couldn't decide. Like, nobody.
Because he was solid the first couple kicks right down the middle. I think on that last kick, though, it was too much time. Too long for him to think about it. Because right when the referee misspotted the ball on that third down, Shanahan ran the kicking team right on out there. Yeah. Then they actually reviewed the spot. So now he out there still on the field, and he going through his motion and kicking, and he's still, he lining everything up and everything, going through practice swings. So come out of the review, then Seattle called a timeout. So now he's still out there, and he's still swinging his leg and lining it up. And that's why I say, okay, this is too much time. I don't like to look at this. He doing too much, you know what I'm saying? Veteran kicker would have been chilling, and, for the most part. So, he shanked that damn ball, but I don't even blame him, man. I blame the offense. Defense.
Let's talk about Jimmy.
Defense played lights out. Applause to the defense. Jimmy's motherfucking ass. Same thing I told you before. I think he's another Kirk Cousins. He's average. He ain't a bum. He ain't elite. He's gonna have some good games. He gonna have some where he don't even look like he belong in the league. And last night he had 3 turnovers. He should have had about 7.
He should have had a lot.
You know what I'm saying? Because Seattle was dropping interceptions left and right.
Interceptions.
Okay. Now
you know what Jimmy is?
Uh-huh.
Jimmy is a 10 of spades. He ain't a face card, but he ain't a low card either.
That's a good analogy. That's a good analogy. But for Jimmy, what I've noticed for him, okay, so you look at, and I don't want to go too long, but I'm going to go a little long.
Go ahead. We got time.
The reason that we went and got Emmanuel Sanders was because only person that can consistently get open was George Kittle.
Right.
Okay. So Kittle didn't play. Emmanuel Sanders comes in, then he goes out. So now we back to these dudes. And these dudes, I'm talking about Deebo Samuel.
Deebo looked good last night.
And Kendrick Bourne. Now, on the passes that he actually caught.
Yeah.
Now, the ones that he keep letting hit him in the chest and in the face mask, not just last night, this is a weekly occurrence almost.
Yeah.
So this is, I'm saying, this is becoming a pattern with him. Good play, then a real bad play. It's becoming that kind of thing. So he got to hold on to the ball more.
Yeah.
Even on one of the slants that he caught and took for a long way, he double caught it. And if a defender had been close, he would have knocked it out. But Kendrick Bourne and Deebo Samuel are not 1 and 2 receivers right now, at least. They some complimentary receivers. So if Kittle not getting open or Sanders not getting open, then you can hit one of them dudes against a third or fourth corner. They get 2 or 3 balls a game. They happy. That's their role. You put these dudes in primary receiving positions, now they don't get open. Okay? Jimmy needs dudes that get open. We've seen this. He needs actual dudes that can actually get open. He ain't got to the level yet where he can throw people open or work with scrubs for lack of a better term. He ain't that yet.
I mean, essentially, it changed when Emmanuel got hurt.
Right, because he can get away. You can get away with him with one guy.
Yeah.
But with the both of them out, that's what made it tougher, and it made it tougher because Seattle came out and they came out of their base coverage. On defense, and they stacked the line. They were determined not to let our run game beat them.
Nope.
So once we didn't have anything working in the pass game after Sanders went out, then everything was pretty much shut down, as you saw, until late in the game where we got a couple of scores. Another thing that I think contributed to Jimmy's garbageness last night, the offensive line.
Yeah,
I was talking all week about McGlinchey and Staley being back. The tackles are going to be back. We're going to have our tackles back. And they played like
times last night.
They played like shit. Jadeveon Clowney had 11 quarterback pressures last night. 11 in one game.
Paid last night.
So I don't know if they rushed them dudes back or they just not in game shape or were they rusty as far as my tackles. But they got their asses kicked last night. And once you combine all of that, that's why Jimmy looked skittish. You come fourth quarter, he looked scared because he knew the line was breaking down and these dudes can't get open. And when they are open, they're not catching the ball. So it was a clusterfuck.
Like you said,
we still had a way to win.
And they could have been more turnovers than what he actually threw. But Breida got hurt again. Emmanuel Sanders got hurt. Kittle's already out. Are you concerned about the injuries?
Joe says he's gonna be out another couple of weeks because he broke his finger. Yeah, but actually, if he's gonna play like he played last night, that'll be cool because the backup that was in his place was playing pretty damn good. So Joe, he getting up there in age, maybe his body's starting to break down a little bit because he's had a lot of injuries over the last couple of years. So I'll be concerned about his injuries. Some of the other ones, as long as they're not long term. I think we'll be okay. Because even after all that shit last night, we still should have won the game if we have just a regular kicker. So I'm not too mad about the loss. I think you never want to lose, obviously, but I think it'll be a good spot to lose in if you want to say that and humble them up a little bit, refocus.
Random question. I was thinking this last night, but I meant to ask you. Is Joey better than his brother?
Joey's in you talking about Nick?
Nick. Is Nick better than his brother right now?
That I don't know. It's only been a handful of games. It's been a couple games since he had a sack. He's still getting the pressures, but
yeah.
I had to give him at least a season. But right now I'm a little biased. He may be having a better year than him this year.
Y'all front four animals.
But see that worked against us in a couple of plays last night too late. And we had that 3rd and 16 that we got Seattle into. And we rushing the pass, and then we have some missed lane assignments, missed gap assignments. Armstead gets out of his gap.
When Russell took off and got that first.
Not the one where he took off and ran. This is the one he got to the side of the. He got on the outside of the pocket and threw for a 3rd and 16.
Yeah.
Another play though was the aggression of when you gotta. If you're not gonna have a spy, you got to keep eyes on Russell Wilson.
Right.
In those type of situations, I didn't get why we didn't have that. Maybe it was because some of the young dudes that we had in, because we are hurting that linebacker a little bit. Quan got hurt, so that forced the dude that was playing strong side to come weak side, and now a dude that was playing special teams was starting in the other guy's spot, and then he went out with a concussion late in the game. So I don't even really know who we had in there late. But to answer your question, the main injuries I'm not too concerned about because they all should be back here pretty soon. We can't let them pile up.
Let's talk Seattle, the other side of it. Well, Josh Gordon, he played a solid game last night. DK Metcalf played a solid game. I thought for the most part y'all did a good job as far as containing, because Russell did not have a great game statistically, but y'all got it done at the end.
Like I said, the defense had them on lock. I think Josh Gordon had 2 catches, and those were late. Tyler Lockett little ass didn't get loose. DK.
I think when Sherm hit him, 2nd or 3rd quarter, that was it.
Sherm laid the wood to him on that. Yeah. DK had a few catches, and he got hit some yak in there. But no, man, we had run game did pretty good actually. But we had them boys on lock, man. Jimmy gave up them 21 points. He gave up 7 of them on the fumble return to Clowney, and then the other 2 turnovers, he put them right on the damn doorstep. Other than that, man, the defense, like that Pittsburgh game when we had the 5 turnovers early in the year, defense kept us in the game. That's why I say, man, shout out to the defense, because this game wouldn't even been close. You think about the DeForest Buckner fumble return late in the game to get us right back within 3. Without that, we might have got blowed out.
Team's gonna come for your DC, right?
Oh yeah. He'll be. I've heard his name come about within the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season about possibly getting a head coaching job. It'll probably go through the cycle like it normally do. The first round is usually, all right, we interested. We'll give them some interviews. And then the next round is when the teams will really, really get serious. Yeah. And we'll see, because a lot of these defensive coordinators going to head coaches ain't working out. A lot of teams are leaning toward the offensive guys. So it would depend. But, yeah, his name is going to be in the mix.
Did Russell Wilson win the MVP playing y'all?
Nah, he's still a lot of football to play.
I just don't. I guess with the NFL MVP is different than the NBA. You kind of have a good feel about the NBA MVP. I don't know who with this shit. I really don't. I don't feel like Russell played a great game last night. I really don't. But it could be Lamar. It could be him. I feel like they're the only 2 in the talk right now. Mahomes ain't played enough.
Well, and I think. And that's the thing. The media kind of controls this MVP narrative, because they the ones, they put the names out there, and if they talk about them enough, everybody latches on. Yeah. It's just a cycle. Yeah. But I heard a case for Mahomes that once you get to the end of the season, because we still got 7-8 games left. Yeah. You look back on the entirety of the season, he only missed 2 games.
That's true.
So depending on how this thing shake out, like I said, you got Lamar out there, you got Aaron Rodgers out there, you got a lot of quarterbacks because that's usually who they lean toward in prime position in playoff runs. So that dictates a lot of it too. But Russell's still the front runner.
I feel like
he's still the front runner.
They want to put his name on there so bad. They really want
but he deserved a lot of it too. Who else could have won them that game last night after almost losing them the game? Some of them plays you don't see too many other quarterbacks making.
Cameron Newton would have made them.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, nigga, you got no argument for me about Cam. You finna get your Josh Allen not Josh Allen. You finna get your Kyle Allen jersey?
Nah, I meant to hit that boy Glass. Shout out to Glass. I'm saying now for the people to know, wherever Cam go, that's my secondary team. Damn it.
What if it's the Bucks? Oh, crickets in this motherfucker.
That's tough.
Because that's what I said. That's what I said as soon as this little buzz started. Because I think players, especially because I looked at Gerald McCoy.
They won't trade him there though, unless they cut him.
Nah, it had to be a cut. It had to be a cut. Yeah.
So, and Phillip Rivers is helping my case. I meant to holler at Glass because if he goes to Denver, I am a Broncos secondary fan. So I'm be watching all them 4:00 games on CBS.
You want to go to some games in Denver, huh?
Hey, it's some reasons for us to go to Denver.
Yeah, I like the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, there you go.
The playoffs, college playoffs, people. Yeah. LSU, Alabama, great game.
I took the L's. I took Alabama. I went with customary when you took LSU. Shout out to you.
I wasn't expecting that.
No.
And, if you didn't see the game and you see a 46-41 score, trust me, it wasn't really that close.
LSU took their foot off the gas after the first half.
Because they was whipping Alabama's ass straight up. But so they are clearly in the driver's seat right now. LSU. The rankings just came out tonight. LSU is number 1. Ohio State goes to 2. Number 3 team right now is Clemson. The Georgia Bulldogs are 4. And then the top 6 is rounded out by Alabama at 5 and Oregon representing
Ohio
the Pac-12
State.
Coming in at 6.
Ohio State put 73 points on Maryland. 73 points. When y'all start playing football schools instead of basketball schools, holler at me. Them dudes is out there like, man, we here to hoop. Nah, buddy.
Go play tight end. Go play DN.
73.
Hey, man, Maryland is, like you said, this is what happens when basketball schools have to suit up a football team and vice versa. Look at, they kind of got a little bit of respect now. Look at Alabama basketball over the years.
Yeah.
Auburn basketball.
Yeah. I say Auburn basketball first because they're legit.
Yeah, I say Bruce Pearl
has got them situated.
Yeah. And even with Auburn basketball, you remember back, this is probably I went high school, but early college when they had that team with Chris Porter.
Yep.
Yeah, that was an exciting team. Yeah.
Switch everything.
I think Chris Porter was like 6'4", playing center, dunking on everybody. Everybody. Reminded me of Otis Hill from Syracuse.
Boy, let's get out of here.
All right, man. People, we appreciate y'all tuning in. That's that college basketball talk. That's a long rabbit.
With that.
That's a long rabbit hole.
Shout out to old boy in Memphis. Fuck them folks. Play them games.
Wiseman, exactly. Uncle Hank, man, tell these people to get at you on social media.
At Rike6000, holla at me. I talk sports.
All right, I'm at Diego Barish on Twitter as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the shows on all platforms: YouTube, Spreaker, and iTunes. Check out all the social media pages. Happy episode 200 be uploaded tomorrow, Wednesday afternoon. So y'all get at us. We'll be back here on Thursday to give y'all our Week 11 picks and predictions. Hopefully, the shit goes better than Week 10. I only picked 5 games right this last week. 5.
I probably picked 4 or 3.
Yeah, I think it was 4. But yeah, I think I might be below 60% right now.
I was about to say, are we over 60?
I think this week is going to put us under, I'm pretty sure, because we were only at 61 last week. It's been a tough year, man. It's been a tough year.
59.8 counts.
I always round. I always grade on a curve. I always grade on the curve because I always needed that grade on the curve when I was in school. So I always stick to grading on the curve. All right, people. This is for your boy Diego Barista Coffee, your boy Uncle Hay. We're out of here. Y'all be easy. We'll holler in a couple days, baby. AA Sports, straight sports, no chasing. We about. Peace.
Peace.